the M47 Surface Attack Guided Missile System, providing the infantry rifle squad with a one-man portable anti-tank defense and assault capability by day or night. With a range of 1,000 meters and a high hit probability, it covers tank approaches into the platoon area. Replacing the 90mm recoilless rifle, this weapon is also effective against gun emplacements and fortified positions. It is called the Dragon. The Dragon weapon utilizes a command-to-line-of-sight guided missile that is fired from a recoilless launcher. It is automatically guided to the target by a tracker that issues electronic commands by wire link to the missile. The system is designed so that it can be rapidly set up and fired by one man on any terrain. It is designed for employment in both assault and defensive roles. The joining of the tracker to the round automatically provides the required electrical and mechanical connections. The weapon may be carried in this practical condition. The Dragon tactical weapon weighs 31 pounds and consists of a round and a tracker. The tracker is reusable, while the round is expendable. The launcher consists of a gas generator and breech assembly mounted on a smooth-bore fiberglass tube to provide virtually recoilless launch. Other features of the launcher are the tracker support, tracker battery, carrying strap, and aft and forward shock absorbers. The launcher has a length of 44 inches and weighs approximately 11 pounds. The missile consists of three major sections: aft body, center body, and a warhead containing a shaped charge that will defeat any known armor on the battlefield. The center section houses 30 pairs of rocket motors that correct and sustain missile flight. It also contains the circuit boards that control rocket motor firing. The aft section consists of electrical components, control electronics, the flare, and the guidance wire bobbin assembly. The entire missile is approximately 29 inches in length and weighs approximately 13.5 pounds at launch. The tracker consists of a 6-power telescopic sighting device, an infrared receiver assembly, the firing mechanism, and the electronics package. The tracker weighs 6.5 pounds and is stored and transported in the tracker carrying bag. In the field, the gunner carries the Dragon weapon over his shoulder using the carrying strap. It can be easily and quickly set up for firing. The forward end cap pops off with release of the bipod. The bipod is then locked in the brace pad. Tracker and launcher electrical connector covers are removed to permit attachment of the tracker. The tracker is engaged with the launcher support guide and is carefully pushed to the rear until it engages the retaining clip. The tracker lens cover is removed. The weapon is now ready for firing. The gunner engages the target by sighting through the optics of the tracker. The vertical stadia lines are used to determine if the target is within the 1,000-meter range of the weapon. The target should more than fill the area between the two stadia lines for broadside targets. Head-on targets should more than fill the area between one stadia line and the vertical crosshair. The gunner keeps the target centered on the crosshairs, or tracker sight reticle. This action also establishes the line of sight for the tracker. When the trigger is squeezed, missile and tracker power are turned on. After the gyro reaches design speed, it is uncaged. Missile power then ignites the gas generator. The high pressure developed in the gas generator bleeds off into the breech. This provides the force required to launch the missile from the tube. As the missile leaves the tube, the guidance wire unwinds from the missile wire bobbin. The canted, spring-loaded fins pop open as they clear the tube. This causes the missile to roll. Missile rotation permits each row of rocket motors to move into firing position for a correction of both lateral and vertical displacement. Shortly after launch, the guidance link between missile and tracker is established and the warhead is armed. The tracker, by means of its optical sensor, determines the position of the missile relative to the line of sight. The tracker circuitry converts the error signals into firing commands that are transmitted continuously through the guidance wire to the missile in flight. Firing commands are stored in the missile electronics until the next available row of rocket motors rotates to the required firing position. Two rocket motors then fire simultaneously to propel the missile back towards the line of sight. And as the rocket motors are angled toward the rear, they also provide forward acceleration of the missile. The result is a flight path that accurately follows the line of sight to the target. Dragon training equipment is provided to simulate firing exercises and evaluate gunner performance. Used with the tactical tracker, this equipment eliminates the need for live missiles. The Launch Effects Trainer, or LET, is approximately the same size, shape, and weight as the tactical round. The LET consists of a bipod, launch tube, tracker support assembly, and breech assembly. An M64 blank cartridge is fired in the breech of the LET to propel a dummy projectile, or weight, forward within the launch tube. This action simulates the recoil and change in the weapon's center of gravity during missile launch. The monitoring set is used to observe and evaluate the tracking performance of the student gunner. The tracking data is stored in the monitoring set's memory circuits and can be recalled after firing to show gunner performance. It also displays hit or miss results and the score after each tracking run. The infrared transmitter set consists of an infrared source that simulates the flare of the tactical missile. Radiation from this source can result in serious eye injury if viewed at very close range. Mounted on a jeep, tank, or armored personnel carrier, the infrared transmitter can simulate either a stationary or moving target. A training team normally consists of a gunner, who sights the target and fires the LET, a loader, who inserts the blank cartridge and gives the order to fire, a monitoring set operator, who records performance and informs the LET gunner of the results, and a scorekeeper, who prepares the gunner's scorecard, filling in all the required performance data. Gunners are trained to fire the Dragon in three basic positions. One firing position is with the gunner sitting with the tactical round or the LET supported firmly on the right shoulder. The round should always rest on the shoulder muscle and not the shoulder bone. The legs are positioned as straight as possible, with the feet braced against the legs of the bipod. A second firing method is the kneeling position. The buttocks rest on the heels, and the knees spread outward to a convenient angle. The third is the standing supported position, used in a foxhole. The bipod is rested on the edge of the foxhole as the gunner spreads his legs outward at a convenient angle. There is also firing from the prone position. To prepare for a firing sequence, the gunner positions himself so that the tracker eye guard fits firmly against his face. This action prevents a blurred image and loss of target. If the image is blurred, the focus control is adjusted. If the crosshairs in the sight should appear tilted or canted, the bipod should be readjusted to level the crosshairs. The gunner holds the lead by gripping the tracker scope with the left hand between its shock absorbers. The trigger is gripped with the right hand. The thumb is placed on the safety button and the fingers on the trigger lever, with the small finger around the forward end of the trigger housing. Prior to firing, the target is sighted and tracked to establish the tracking rate that should be maintained throughout missile flight. While tracking, the gunner must also exercise breath control. The safety button is depressed and the trigger is squeezed. While continuing to squeeze the trigger, the target is tracked until the tracker turns off automatically. Each member of the training team takes his turn firing the lead, as well as participating in other team assignments. This procedure provides each man complete familiarization with the equipment and its operation. Another piece of Dragon training equipment is the field handling round. It is identified by the word empty painted on the side and a bronze band painted on the aft end. It also simulates the tactical round in weight and configuration and provides gunners with a field experience in tactical employment, aiming, and tracking with the Dragon. Operator maintenance of the Dragon system is minimal, primarily consisting of visual inspection for cleanliness, damage, and proper operation. The tracker test set is used by the contact support team to provide support for the tracker, launch effects trainer, and monitoring set. The test set provides an operational go-no-go check of the tracker and provides for performance checks of the launch effects trainer and the monitoring set. More extensive maintenance is accomplished by the Army Land Combat Support System. This system, housed in 2 mobile vans, is used for test and repair of the Dragon and other Army tactical missile systems. More extensive maintenance is performed at the depot level. The Dragon weapon system, the most advanced anti-tank assault weapon available to the infantry rifle squad. However, like all weapons, it is only as good as the men who use it. Good gunners possess a quality called fire discipline, and fire discipline is the direct result of intensive training and sharp mental conditioning. The effectiveness of the Dragon depends on these factors. With the Dragon, the modern infantry platoon is assured that it can meet any armored threat on equal terms, an assurance given them by their employment and mastery of the Dragon weapon system.